So I think I'll move on to the next bit. I wanted to just get one of our systemology clients to tell you a little bit about this experience. I think getting the business owner out of the way is really, really critical. So I had done a presentation to a little mastermind group. There's a gentleman there, Jamie, who you'll meet in a moment, who heard it and said, I want you to do this for my business. My business is craving out for this. And then he said, oh, by the way, I'm going to Chile for 2 weeks. But that's okay. Dana, who's also here as well, she's going to be running this process. She is my systems champion. So I've been working with Dana over the past sort of couple months now, where we worked through, we identified the critical client flow. We then worked through the DRRC, figured out who on the team is going to do what, and then we finished up with our systems assign sheet. What I'll probably do, I want to hand the mic over to Jamie. So Jamie, if you want to stick your hand up, maybe tell us a little bit about your business. Charles will run the mic over. Yeah, a little bit about your business, maybe kind of where you're up to. And I know you've got a graphic, which I'll bring up, and you can put that into the appropriate spot.
Yeah. Thanks. Good morning, everyone. I'll just quickly give you a bit of a backstory about where I'm with my business. I've had the business for 17 years, and about maybe 8 years ago, I did all the what I thought was all the standard, checklists and processes, etc. Anyway, last year I had 4 of my agents who do the work, the migration agents. They worked with an assistant, and that we called them pods. And so as each agent went on holidays, I moved into the pod and did the work. And what I realised is that how Melinda was operating was different to how Andrell was operating, and was different to how Grant was operating. And you sort of get the picture. And I actually realised that I was running 5 different businesses within my business. There was no standardised system across everything. The fonts were different, the colours were different, the language was different. The way that I want the business to be was totally different. I was like, I don't even know what this business is. And so that sort of started my journey on just thinking, I've really got to start to get standard letters, and I've got to have things going the way I want it to do, because I want if, you deal with one of my agents and they go away, that the next conversation you have, the communication will be exactly the same, and the way that my staff are trained exactly the same. And then so I think it was about December, we had David come along and do a presentation, and Michael Coleman invited him along to a group that I'm in. And I looked at David and I thought, he's really passionate about what he does, and I love immigration as well. And I always say to people, it's not the most sexy or exciting topic. And I got to say, systems is probably even less exciting and sexy.
Hang on.
Than immigration. Sorry,
There's
Dave.
people wearing "I love systems" t-shirts.
Exactly. But I got a kindred nerd in the room, and I always say to people, the way I look at immigration is. I always go back to an ad that I saw once, a print ad, and what it was is everybody was watching the football. The stadium was packed, and there was one person standing around looking at the light tower, and the caption underneath says, "We're excited about energy, even if you're not." And so I sort of got that a bit from David as well. He just loves systems so much, and so what we did is we said, okay, we'll sign up to Systems Hub. We said, we'll do it on our own. It's all right, Systems Hub. It looks pretty easy. You've been here, done the presentation. Thanks very much. So I got Dana along and said, oh, Dana, can you be the champion? Dana said, oh, there's another girl in our office, April. April, can you be the champion? Anyway, so Dana and April were working on it. And what we found after about a month, nearly 2 months actually, it was 2 months, because I was going to Argentina, not Chile. But I sort of realised we can't do this on our own. Like, we're sort of got no idea. I love the concept, and I know how it should all work, but I don't actually know how to actually implement it. We needed someone to come and hold our hands. And so we got David in, and as he said, it was just before I was going away, and I said, look, can you just start this? And obviously I've realised that I'm actually too involved still, because I'm here today. I should have let Dana come on her own, but I'm actually passionate, obviously, about the business, and I do know my business so well. I know exactly how I want it to look, and I'm actually genuinely interested in this subject. If you asked me 6 months ago or 12 months ago if I'd be getting excited about systems, probably not. But I just wanted to share that backstory and just say how good it's been. And so what I do every morning is when I come in, I have headphones on, I listen to some music, and we've got all of our systems and processes in one part of the office, and I've got like the whole process flow and every single communication going on. So I just spend an hour every morning just going through editing of what's been done and saying, okay, is this the right thing? Is this good? No, I want it in this language. I need to be like this. So I can put my final stamp on it. Because as I said, I know my business so well. I know exactly where we want to be. And so just having that hour as I walk in the door, sort of say morning to everyone, I just go to the back of the room and I have my headphones and music going, and I just focus on just trying to get stuff done. And I think that works the best for me. I think the option is what I do, take a day out and do that. So at the start of the process, I remember I said, oh, look, we'll get this done. It was the start of January. I said, I just want to have it done by the end of January.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
You also said just before you went on holiday, you're like, I've got a new person starting in about 3 weeks. Can you have all the systems done so we can onboard them and get them started?
So I don't have a realistic time expectation. So anyway, so as Dave was saying before, part of our business is what we do is because we know the business so well, we'd sign up a client and say, yeah, we'll do your visa, no problems, you qualify, or we can bring your partner from overseas or get your employee sponsored or whatever. And then what would happen is we'd say, yep, here's the contract, pay the money, and off we go. And then the client would be like, now what? And then I'd be like, oh, okay, and this is what we'll do, here's that question and thing. And they go, now what? And so it got to the point that what I realised is that we all know our jobs, and you're probably the same. You all know what you do so well, but your clients have no idea. So we've got one of our clients called Decathlon, which is it's a new competitor to Rebel. It's actually it's a French-owned company. They've got 1,000 stores around the world, and they're coming in to Australia. And so I spoke with Olivier, and I said to him, I had the initial meeting, and he said, look, I like the strategy you're talking for our business, and I really like you, and, we want to work with you. They had another agent who didn't give them any of that. And I said, oh, that's great. Anyway, so we sort of went through the path, and we started doing work for their staff members. And a few weeks later, I went and visited him in Sydney. And I said, oh, Olivia, how's it going? And he said, and it's in French accent, which I won't even try and do. He said, look, it's not going so great. And I went, what? And he said, well, your staff are fine and you're great and we like you, but we don't know what's going on and nobody understands what's happening. And I left that meeting. It's quite confronting when a client tells you that, but it was fantastic as well. It's the ego bruise, the little bit of pain, but then the appreciation. I said, look, thank you so much for telling me, and I will go and work on this. So what I did is I came up with our process that we could give to staff and have people who don't understand.